and I'm a national organizer with BAM. I am very proud of the role that BAM, but also the role of so many thousands of people in the Bay Area have played in standing up and stopping the growth of fascism in this country. Despite the fact that fascists have stabbed me and others who stood up against him in Sacramento, or that Milo Yiannopoulos and fascists tried to come onto this campus to create a foothold here in the Bay Area to start recruiting from, they failed. And we have beaten them over and over again. And there were thousands of people out here on February 1st who stood courageously, united together, and really took care of each other to ensure that there could be no fascist recruitment here at UC Berkeley or in the Bay Area. And that is a real model for what the movement needs to do on a national level to stop not just self-identified fascists or those who are on the, who are fascist sympathizers, whether they admit that they're fascists or not, but it's really a model for what the movement needs to do on a national level to stop and defeat Donald Trump and all the attacks that he's making on immigrant students and families and communities, to stop the raids and the deportations, to stand up against the Muslim attacks and the attacks on Muslim people and the Islamophobia that's growing, to defend public education and real free speech and critical thinking and democracy. I am so grateful and very proud of the support that I've gotten from my coworkers, from parents and my students, from community members, from people across the country or even other parts of the world who've contacted me since I was on the news and told me that they are very grateful that someone is standing up and standing up for all of us, and more people are doing that too. So I'm very encouraged by the kind of support that I've gotten. The Trump supporters and the fascist sympathizers, all they can rely on is terrorization and bullying, and we're not going to be bullied here in the Bay Area. And BAM is not going to be bullied, and I'm certainly not going to. And so I want to thank everyone for coming and for your support, because we're going to stand strong and stand proud, because everyone has a right to stand up and stop racist and fascist and violent attacks on us, on our friends and neighbors, on our coworkers, and on our community, and we pledge to continue doing that.
What happened after the Fox interview for you? What are the past few days been like?
There have been attempts, there have been phone calls made by Trump supporters trying to bully me and also the staff at my school. But that's also then been deflected by the kind of support and unity that's been shown by my coworkers and my family members and students to also stand up against that. We're Berkeley, and this is the Bay Area, and we stand up against racism, and we're going to continue to do that.
Would you say or blame specifically, you say you get those harassments, those phone calls, would you blame that specifically on Fox News then?
Certainly the Fox News base, after that interview, was very likely the ones who were doing it. But also, the Trump supporters and his base, they're bullies who try to act like they represent more people than they do. When the reality is the majority of people in this country rejected Donald Trump. And the people who are doing this and trying to bully me or Berkeley try to act like they're more people than they are, but they're not. So we know the truth of who and what they actually represent, and we're proud to stand up against that.
What do you mean by any means necessary? Does that include violence as what happened a few weeks ago here on this campus?
What we mean is to build the new civil rights and immigrant rights movement, to stand up, to take collective united action, and also to defend ourselves when fascists try to come or racist and try to physically and violently attack us. We are proud that we stand up together to make sure that we aren't injured, that on February 1st, unlike other protests when fascists came like in Washington and Milo Yiannopoulos, this time around, no one did get shot. Like in Sacramento when fascists stabbed me and other people, this time around, none of us were stabbed. And that's thanks to the collective action that was militant en masse and did defend our rights by any means necessary.
But there was property destruction, and some people, I'm being devil's advocate, some people say that kind of emboldened the Yiannopoulos and Trump supporters and strengthened their core by within their
That's not-
target. Could you
I
speak
mean,
on
they will not come back on the Berkeley campus, I assure you of that. And if they try to march in the streets of Berkeley, any of these fascist or proto-fascist organizations, they will be defeated in the streets of Berkeley as well. No, the only way to deal with these people is to take them seriously and to make clear that we represent the vast majority of people in this country, and that we are not going to make the mistake of the 1930s in Germany, when people pretended or sought to look the other way and acted like fascism wasn't what it was. Donald Trump is building a fascist movement in the United States. If he succeeds, then he'll have the kind of democracy he wants, which is sovereign democracy, and all of us will be living under a police state with no rights, no freedom, and we will be preparing for World War III.
So
You
you
say
would,
defeated it in the streets. What does that mean? What do you mean by that?
I think it could happen a whole number of ways. It could happen with the city council or the mayor saying, we don't have money to provide you with the kind of police protection that it would take, so don't come to Berkeley. It could be defeated by the mass movement turning out and the people who are coming getting scared. It could be defeated by direct confrontation between some of the people in our movement and some of them. There are a lot of ways to defeat them. And what we need is collective action and a unified approach. If everybody in Berkeley who is opposed to fascism and to the immigrant bashing that's going on and to the rise of racism united, I assure you those Nazis would not be marching, because it would be clear to them, no, the whole city of Berkeley is against you. The more people you have, the more certainty you are of winning, and the more probable you are of having a situation in which your enemies run away before a single blow is cast.
so if the same thing happened that happened a couple of weeks ago, if people like that, the fascists that you're saying, tried to come on campus and things happened and the exact same thing happened with destruction of property and violence, would that be something you'd be happy about? I mean, with by any means necessary, or would that be where you would draw a line?
We're going to defend anybody in the movement who chooses to fight against fascism. And it's not a question of being happy or unhappy. At the end of the day, we are happy if we've saved one human life. Far better to have a window cracked or broken than to have people facing what Muslim families and immigrant families are facing now, being denied access to their own country, to their own children, being placed back in countries that they haven't been in some cases ever in their lives. No. We value human life more than we do broken windows. They can be fixed and they can be repaired, and Berkeley has the money to do that. But the human sacrifice that Donald Trump is willing to undertake for his cause, that can't be repaired by anything other than the growth of this movement and shutting the Trump side down.
You guys keep talking about Berkeley and the Bay Area. At some point, does it have to expand beyond this insular bubble that we live in?
No, absolutely. And BAM's a national organization. We have people and we have chapters that are growing across the country too. We encourage everybody to contact us, to get involved, and to also organize themselves and make sure that we do what we've done and keep building this movement the way that we have here in the Bay Area across the nation. What we've done here in the Bay Area can and should be the model for how to stop and defeat Trump's movement, the growth of fascism in this country, and the terrorization that's taking place against immigrant and Muslim communities. We can do this if we build this movement.
Just one more question as far as, Berkeley's often been, sorry, I know you're risking, Sarah. Berkeley's often been like a bastion of free speech that a lot of people have recognized here, known for letting anyone come and share anything. As it's a state-run school, do you have anything to say to what people's concerns are about that? About, hey, why won't you let someone come and speak just because the majority of people here disagree with it?
Look, if there was a convention of mass murderers on this